everybody, it's Katie with Embody Daily, and today I wanted to talk about the importance of holding a clear vision for the person you want to be once you've overcome alcohol addiction. I think this is really, really important because if we're not holding a vision for our future self and where we see ourselves and where we want to be, then it's really easy to get trapped in the experience we're already in. That age-old expression, you can't keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. And I think that rings so true with the Sinclair Method, and perhaps impacts a lot of people because if you're anything like me, my alcohol dependence was kind of part of my identity for so long. Whether I was drinking in the evenings and getting drunk, or I was at work and planning my evening drinking routine, or telling myself I shouldn't drink, or when I was sober and I was resisting alcohol. Alcohol was just my identity for so long, and the person that I was, the people that I hung out with had to do with alcohol, the things that I did had to do with alcohol. Everything revolved around alcohol. And so as I got on the Sinclair Method and started to really make these changes in my relationship to alcohol, I realized how important it was for me to get clear on the person that I wanted to be after my alcohol addiction so that I could start taking steps toward really becoming that person. Asking myself questions like, who is it that I want to be after my alcohol addiction? What kind of people do I want to hang out with? What kind of hobbies do I want to do? What kind of work do I want to do? All of these areas that had been kind of controlled by alcohol for so long, I started to get curious about, who is it that I really want to be? And as I asked myself that question time and time again, I began to get a really clear vision of the person who I wanted to be. And by having that vision and holding on to that vision and revisiting it time and time again every single day, it allowed me to start to get inspired and excited about my own potential of the person that I could be. Because what's so great about the Sinclair Method is that it lifts the cravings for alcohol from you so that you can have this spaciousness within you to really dream about your future self. And I have found that if I wasn't getting a vision in my mind, if I wasn't really holding on to a future goal of where I saw myself or where I wanted to be, it was really easy for me to fall back on drinking. For example, as I'd been on the method for a few months and I was starting to be faced in the evenings with, questioning like, do I want to drink tonight? I'm not sure. I could drink, do the same thing. It's familiar, have my Naltrexone drink, relax, do whatever. Or I could do something else that might bring me closer to this person who I want to become. And again, as I started to hold this vision more of who it is that I wanted to become and started to feel more excited about the possibility of me achieving my own potential, it allowed me to start to break free from the same old habit and routine that I'd been doing every single night for years and years, drinking wine, watching TV, hanging out at home, blah, 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 like such a dull existence that was so unfulfilling to me, so unfulfilling. And so any little step I could take toward becoming the person who I really wanted to be, spending time with the people I wanted to be with, doing hobbies that I wanted, having a job that was meaningful, all of these things started to come to me more, and I started to ask myself these questions all the time. And again, holding that vision for who I wanted to be and started taking steps toward becoming that person, because in order to become who you want to be, you have to be that person. And it sounds a little backwards, but it's true. And I'll give you an example from my own life. So this is a really small example, but perhaps it'll resonate with some of you. For me, I really wanted to be somebody who could read a book in the evenings when falling asleep. I love to read. It's one of my favorite pastimes. And when I was wrapped up in my alcohol dependence, it was really hard to read because I'd be drunk every night. And you can't really focus on a book when you are intoxicated. And so this was like a big milestone for me because I saw it as such like a normal thing you see people doing in movies. And I always kind of like knew people who did that and like wondered how you did that. Like, you don't want to drink in the evenings? Like, what's wrong with me? So that was like one of the first things I worked toward, is like, I really wanted to be somebody who could just read a book in the evenings and relax with tea and not pass out from alcohol. And so as I really started to get clear in my own mind's eye and my vision of me, being this person who read every night and was really enjoying books and not relying on wine every night to fall asleep, the more I would be able to do that when I was faced with the decision of, to drink or not to drink in the evenings. I was starting to choose not to drink because my excitement for my potential of being someone who reads in the evening was growing and growing. My reason to not drink was getting bigger than my reason to drink. And so I think this is just, one small area where people, well, it's not small actually, it's actually pretty significant, but I think it's at least one area where people can get wrapped up or stuck in the Sinclair Method experience because they're doing the same thing and expecting different results. They don't have a clear vision of where they see themselves and where they want to be in the future. And my reading a book in the evenings is just a really small example, and there's probably dozens of examples I could give in each area of my life where I started to kind of get in alignment with the person that I really wanted to be and let go of things that were no longer that type of person. And so I think perhaps people can kind of get stuck in doing the same thing every night and expecting different results. Not because they're a failure or they're weak or they're not a good person, but just because they're not holding on to a vision of where they see themselves. They don't have a crystal clear picture of things that they want to do and be and achieve and people they want to be around. And so just want to invite you all to, especially, if you're on the Sinclair Method and you find that you're stuck in a place where you're still drinking or drinking more than you want to be and you'd like to break that habit, are you visioning your future? Are you asking yourself who it is that you want to become? And are you taking little incremental steps to get to that person that you want to become? And I find that our motivation and our inspiration for change toward, crawling ourselves out of this alcohol dependence and really becoming the person, someone was screaming outside, I don't know if you can hear that, but crawling ourselves out of the alcohol dependence and really becoming the person that we want to be, by being able to visualize that, by being able to see that in your mind's eye, create a vision board, really see that for yourself because guys, anything is possible. We can do anything. And especially having gone through alcohol dependence and now being freed from it, I'm anything is possible. I don't want to waste any day or any precious moment. I just want to enjoy everything because life, there's so much potential and possibility in life for all of us. I don't care what your age is, what your history is, how bad your alcoholism has been, your potential is still unlimited. And when you can see that for yourself and think back, who do I want to be? And, for me, it was even remembering when I was a little kid, what kind of person did I want to become when I was little? Who did I envision myself being when I was little? And taking little tiny steps every single day to become that person and holding that vision so that you have the inspiration and motivation to take action toward the person that you really want to be. So I just wanted to share this little tidbit with you all. I hope it was helpful. Wish you all the best. Okay, bye.